Hey, what is going on, you guys? It is Mr. No Sleep here from Old School RuneScape, and welcome to a brand new video for you all today. So today, at long last, I bring you guys loot from 1000 Alchemical Hydra. I did promise you guys in my last upload that I would be working on this video, and I wasn't too sure how long it was going to take, but overall it ended up taking about 12 days, and of those 12 days I was playing pretty casually, you know, 6 to 10 hours a day every day. I will say the number one thing that took the most time throughout this video was just earning the Slayer points in order to get assigned the Alchemical Hydra so that I could do this video. This is a Slayer task only monster, so a lot of time was dedicated just to get the points to get assigned it, and I would say that's probably why this video took so long. I do apologize that it took so long to get out, but nevertheless, I hope you guys enjoy the video. Starting at kill count 20 and ending at 1020, I did go with the blowpipe setup for the video. I do know that a twisted bow is much better, much faster, and although I did have a lot of friends offer it as a loan for the video, I wanted to use a blowpipe. I figure the majority of people doing this boss will be using a blowpipe since a twisted bow is so expensive. I could be wrong, of course, but at least anyone who is using a blowpipe, towards the end of the video you guys will get to see the amount of scales and the amount of darts used over the course of 1000 kills, so I figured that would be a helpful piece of information. I was seeing some pretty good luck towards the beginning of the video. I was able to pick up an elite clue scroll, which then led to a master clue scroll, and actually after these two clues I only did one more elite, and after that I didn't really focus too much on the clues, mainly because I just was focused on the 1000 KC goal, and the clue scrolls just were going to take time out of that, so I figured they weren't worth doing. But speaking of the clue scrolls, one of those elites that we did pick up did come with a piece of Hydra leather. Our very first rare of the video, and certainly not our last. Was really nice to see. I wasn't actually too sure of what the Hydra leather was used for, but then I googled it, and according to the guide they are used to make ferocious gloves, which I've actually still not bought those gloves yet. Now the Hydra leather is a 1 in 500 drop from the Alchemical Hydra, and the Hydra's Claw, which is the most expensive rare that the Hydra drops, is 1 in 1000, so was certainly nice to see a rare early on, and not to mention another Hydra leather just about 7 kills after the first one. Alongside the Hydra Claw as well as the Hydra leather, there is a few more uniques that is worth mentioning on the rare drop table of this boss, such as the Hydra's Eye, the Hydra's Fang, and the Hydra's Heart. All three of those are used to make the Brimstone Ring, and they are 1 in 200 per item. There's also a Hydra Tail, but that's not worth too much, and that's 1 in 500. There's also stackable dragon knives as well as dragon throwing axes, and those are both 1 in 2000. So very rare to see the dragon knives or the dragon throwing axes. I'm not too sure why it's 1 in 2000 for those items, and it's only like 1 in 1000 for the claw, which is like significantly much more money. I'm not too sure why they did that, but it is interesting to see. And here's our next Hydra drop at around KC 119. One of the pieces of the Brimstone Ring. Do need all three to make the actual ring, which does sell for about 9 mil, so pretty good to get any of the pieces really. And here we are 100 kills into the video. Pretty good start for the video overall, 100 kills, and we've already seen 2 leathers as well as 1 eye and quite a few clue scrolls, so I was pretty optimistic at this point. I thought that, you know, there would be a lot of money to be made during this video. Now every time I did finish a Hydra task, I was always wearing my max cape so that I had the ability to get a back-to-back, which is the Slayer cape perk, which, you know, the max cape acts as all the skill capes. Unfortunately, kind of a spoiler alert, but that did not happen a single time throughout the 1000 kills. But one thing that I did always see that was assigned by Konar, and this is just kind of a food for thought for the future. If I ever want to do 1000 Kraken kills as a video, always look at Konar as the master to give the Kraken task. I've never seen so many Kraken tasks in my life. I'm really not too sure what's up with that, but yeah, just something to keep in mind. If I'm ever going to do a Kraken video, I will certainly be coming back to Konar. Alright, so after 250 Slayer points, I did get assigned another Hydra task. Now this was pretty weird. I got it assigned as a boss task, which means that I could only kill upwards of 35. That would be the max as a boss task goes. 35 is not too many to kill, of course, but I did actually get one drop, which was 766 dragon throwing axes worth about 413k, and according to the wiki, 1 in 2000. I mean, that's pretty rare. That's pretty close to the pet drop rate, which is 1 in 3000. So I didn't really know how to feel about this, and I think I mentioned this before, but I wasn't too sure of those drop rates actually during this video. I just found out about all these drop rates today. So yeah, I guess I just thought it was like a normal, you know, kind of exclusive rare, but anyway, it was nice to see another drop. And with the task completed, I was of course going for the back-to-back. Now this is a pretty funny moment because I thought I had gotten it. As you can see here, it was, you know, shown to me, the Alchemical Hydra, and I was like, alright, let's do it. Clicked yes, and she gives me Vorkath instead. Yeah, this was something that I actually learned the hard way. I really thought that you would get assigned the same boss task, but I guess as it goes for boss tasks, if you choose and if you somehow get the same task assigned with a max cape or a slayer cape perk, it just re-rolls on the boss log, so it doesn't actually give you the same boss to kill, it just chooses another boss, which is why I got fucking Vorkath, which of course I wasn't going to kill because I was just, you know, point boosting or whatever, just trying to get the Hydra task assigned, so it was kind of upsetting to see that. However, it's nice to learn these things, you know, so that this doesn't surprise us in the future. So yeah, maybe you guys learned that as well. I don't know, some people already knew this, they did tell me in my Discord, so was kind of surprised to find that out though, especially since it was labeled as Hydra. That's alright though, it only took about 500 more Slayer points to get the task reassigned, and this time around we did get 176, so yeah, I mean overall it was, you know, pretty easy after the first 100 to 200 kills. I pretty much mastered it, I wasn't ever dying. I think I only died like 3 times during this whole video. I was also rocking all 3 of my other accounts. My Iron Man was making cannonballs, my other 2 were getting things done as well. And speaking of getting things done, here you guys go, KC 212. We did receive the Hydra's Claw, which is the best drop you can get from Hydra. As the making of this video goes, this was worth about 84 mil. That is a lot of money, and I know it was a little bit cringe there in the chat, but yeah, it was actually my birthday, and I don't ever celebrate birthdays or holidays, so yeah, this was a cool little birthday present for me to see. Happy 21st. And of course, following the Claw, we did get a Hydra's Fang KC 216, so at that point we only needed one more component to make the Brimstone Ring, so the RNG was on fire. I mean, this is only 200 kills into the video, guys, and we've gotten almost every single rare. Managed to get a few Konar drops as well, nothing too crazy, just some gold ore, and did pick up a hard clue scroll after that. Now, something that did occur about 3 to 4 days into this video was something that I didn't notice the first day, which was a mysterious pipe, and what this pipe does is essentially you don't have to run past the small Hydras to get to the boss's lair. You can just go down this pipe and get there. It takes the same amount of time, but you won't be taking any damage from the small little Hydras. And to use that pipe, it's only 88 agility, so definitely recommend it. Just saves some clicking, and overall, if you're on like other accounts, then the 10-second cutscene really does come in handy, so something to keep in mind. Now, after we finished that Hydra task, we were at around 378 KC. Unfortunately for me though, I only had about 130 Slayer points to spare, so I knew that I was going to have to do some point boosting. Now, if you're curious to what point boosting is, essentially all it is you go do 9 Slayer tasks in Birth Rope from the lowest level Slayer Master, which is Terrail, and these tasks take less than 5 minutes per task. They're very fast to do, which you guys will see in a little bit. So you do 9 tasks off of Terrail, you don't get any points for those, and then on your 10th task, you go back to Konar, and whatever monster you get, you know, hopefully for me it would be Hydras, but in this case it was Black Dragons. Took like less than 10 minutes to do this task, and I received 90 points. So that in a nutshell is what point boosting is, and every single time I would get 90 points, I would just pretty much use 2 or 3 cancels, whatever I had, and I would try to get that Hydra task. Now, I really got lucky this time around and got assigned another Hydra task. So yeah, it was nice not to skip like a million different times, and this was also the point in the video where a friend of mine reminded me that there is things called Bracelets of Slaughter, which do help extend any Slayer task that you're on. Really useful, you know, if you get assigned like 100 Hydras, maybe you can kill 120, something like that. I'm not too sure of the math on it, but yeah, it is nice, and there's actually different bracelets that have the opposite effect, and I use those bracelets to speed up all of the point boosting tasks. So yeah, I really do recommend the 2 bracelets. I forgot how the other one is pronounced. I think it's called Expeditus or Expeditus, something like that, but they're both used for Slayer pretty commonly, and they're very useful, so something to keep in mind for sure. And here we are at KC 456 with the Hydra's Heart, which, as you guys know, now we have all 3 pieces that is needed to make the Brimstone Ring. So there we have it. That was really nice. None of those were, you know, gotten from the smaller Hydras like what happened last video, so it was nice to receive them all from the boss this time. And yeah, overall the RNG was looking really clean. You know, it's been a long time since I've had constant and consistent luck from one specific boss, especially from start to finish. You know, sometimes you get lucky later on, but for me it was kind of early on. And to top off all of the RNG and all the luck at the very beginning, there you guys have it. We did receive, after long last, guys, a pet on the main, this time live on YouTube, and the last pet that I did receive was a Hell Puppy on Twitch in 2017. So, needless to say, it's been a very long time since I've had a pet on this account, and to receive the Hydra pet, which I'm really not trying to sound too cringe, but I think it's the coolest pet in all of RuneScape, right next to the Armadillo pet, of course, and I mean, to receive it, just so unreal, such an early KC as well. Didn't see a single pet in all of 2018, which is really sad because I played every single day, and now it's nice to finally break that dry streak. So there you guys have it. The pet has been achieved at long last. Alright, so I just want to warn you guys, the luck for the rest of the video, certainly not as good as it was for the beginning of the video, so yeah, keep that in mind. But yeah, here we are 500 kills later, and you know, I gotta be honest, at this point I was really enjoying this boss. This boss is very different from most bosses, something that I was always seeing during things like Zulrah and things like Vorkath, because I've killed those things numerous times as well, and I always died in those bosses. You know, there was always that one misclick, always that one thing that would get me killed, maybe a Jad phase or something. However, it's really different for the Alchemical Hydra. You know, the area where you kill it is a massive area, so you have plenty of space to run around, and I just feel like you have more opportunities to make mistakes here and not die. So if you guys are just curious as to learning the boss, I'm never really a guide person, but I will recommend you guys Mr. Mammal's guide. It will be in the description below. I watched his guide, and I never watch guides. I just get so impatient with them. But yeah, his was the only one that I did bother with, and I mastered it after my second kill. So it's really easy to kill this thing. Don't overthink it. I think the only thing that was challenging for me personally was just getting assigned the task. At this point, I was around, I think, 860 tasks overall, and I started boosting because, you know, I had no Slayer points, and I was just getting no luck, you know, no Hydra task or anything. I did have luck. I mean, I was getting like back-to-back crawling hand drops, which is like 1 in 500, but yeah, I wasn't getting assigned the right task though. And after boosting a few times, she did give me Drakes as the task that I needed to get my points on, which is terrible because these things really take up a lot of time. I pretty much put them right next to Kraken, you know, just a really time-consuming, boring task that you don't want to be stuck with, but unfortunately, you can't really do anything. That's just what you have to do. And yeah, this was the very, very bad luck section of the video. Something about Drakes and Konar, man, I really don't know what it is, but yeah, she really kept assigning me them, and I was, you know, trying my best to only stick with Hydra clips. I know the video is super long, but I figured you guys are pretty much interested in the Konar drops as well. That Konar video did really, really good, unexpectedly, and I figured that anytime I would get a Konar drop on these Slayer tasks that I would do to get points, I would get it on video, and you guys could see, you know, the drop compilation at the end in a separate tab. So that is what I did. Do apologize for insulting Konar a few times throughout this video, just, you know, how to express my frustration, because I don't know, I was just getting really unlucky, especially at this point. You know, I was thinking to myself, alright, I have my 900th task, I'm gonna get a lot of points after I do it. She did assign me a pretty fast one, you know, Daganeths, which I did canon, and I was finished with, you know, got a big fat bonus of 450 points, and you would think that would be enough, but little did you know. But anyway, speaking of the Konar drop table, something that I think is worth mentioning, towards the very end of this video, actually the last day that I was killing Hydra, I did see that they updated the Konar drops as a key now. So anytime you're going to hit the Konar drop table, you're going to receive a key, and then you use this key to open a chest, and then that is where you will receive your Konar drop. So I'm not too sure how I feel about this. I kind of enjoyed recording every different monster that dropped anything from the drop table. I feel like it was more variety that way, you know, instead of just picking up a simple key. I don't know, I kind of miss seeing the actual drops on the ground, so I'm very happy that I actually recorded all these clips for this video, because you're never going to see this again. It's actually only going to be keys now. I don't know, it's pretty weird, so I have to look into it more, but hey, maybe we'll do a video loot from 1,000 Konar keys, but I don't know, it's a lot of bank space. So the point boosting did continue, and the RNG did as well. Managed to get my 6th crawling hand of the video. Really don't know what the hell is up with that, but yeah, I was you know, continuously just trying to get this task for the Hydra, and this time I actually kind of made a mistake. I wanted to, you know, get greedy and just kind of risk getting one task that I couldn't cancel, and unfortunately I was assigned Kraken, so big mistake. And yes, although I will admit that I was kind of thinking in the back of my head that maybe if I got a Kraken pet, then this video would truly be insane, you know, 2 pets in one video, and kind of just happened crazy, but that didn't really happen. I did get a tentacle though, so maybe we'll chuck the bank with that one of these days. But anyway, as we sit here and watch myself continuously never get this Hydra task, I figure it's a good time to talk a little bit about the drop table as it pertains to Hydra. Now this time the normal drop table rather than the rare drop table. So the normal drop table is consisting of tons of different seeds, tons of different herbs, a lot of chaos, death, blood, and astral runes, quite a bit of Dragonstone Bolts E as well as Onyx Bolts E. Now the Onyx Bolts you can get anywhere from 35 45 to 50, and if you do manage to get that, it's anywhere from 300 to 450k. So it's really good money to receive the Onyx bolts. The Dragonstone bolts aren't really worth much these days. As it pertains to the weapons and the armor that Hydra does offer, it does have quite a few dragon items, the Dragon Battle Axe, the Longsword, as well as the Med Helm. Really happy that they put the Battle Axe on there rather than the Mace or something like that, because it's just much higher in value, so it's nice to see that. You can see that the Mystic pieces on the Hydra drop table are golden instead of black or blue, so you know, it's nice to have another monster in the game that drops Mystic Gold, because there's really not too much that does right now. Okay, so the last Hydra task that I saw was at 861 tasks done overall, and here we are at 940. But luckily for me, we were assigned 150 Hydras, and excuse my language there, but yeah, I was very relieved to see this. I had done so many miserable tasks that day that it was just so nice to see. Certainly wasn't as nice to see as this was, though. The Hydra's Claw number 2 of the video. Yep, that's right. We did manage to get 2 1-in-1k drops in a single set of 1000 Alchemical Hydra kills, so that really boosted this price check up to a whole nother level. Also, do apologize if my voice sounds a little bit different. My throat has been bothering me all week, so it may sound a little bit scruffy. Do apologize. Now, at this point, we were 600 kills into the video, and just a little bit after that, we did receive 2 Dragon Fruit Tree Seeds. Now, it says here on the wiki that 2 to 3 Dragon Fruit Tree Seeds are considered to be 1 in 3,200 to receive from Alchemical Hydra. Now, the very next kill after that, I did receive 3 Celestra Seeds, which is also considered 1 in 1,600 from Hydra. So yeah, the luck was very good here. At first, I thought that these were Konar drops, but now looking at the wiki, I think that they could have been from Hydra. I'm not too sure, I gotta confirm that, but yeah, just to think that this could have been from Hydra as well, the RNG really did continue after the claw, which I certainly did not expect, you know. I think that this boss has been too generous to me this video, but needless to say, it was nice to see more drops, and yeah, we did have to finish this task off and then go back to boosting. You know, whenever I would gather points and whenever I would get tasks from Terrail, as you can see there, you know, I would get very easy and very fast-paced tasks. Things like cows, zombies, ghosts, skeletons, things like cave bugs, cave crawlers, just very fast-paced Slayer tasks, and the ones that I would have to actually do from Konar and the ones that would give me points, I would actually get pretty good luck on. So I would get, you know, black dragons or jellies, you know, very fast-paced monsters, nothing like I was getting in the very beginning of the video, like Kraken and Drakes and things like that. Now, since that was my 950th task overall, I did get a nice 270 point boost, and after killing 3 fast Chaos Elemental, I was actually lucky enough to get another Hydra task, and at this point we were nearing over 800 KC, and of course I wasn't really expecting any more drops. I mean, I've already had everything that I wanted throughout this video, you know, no pet to look forward to, I didn't really need another claw, I already had 2 of those, 2 leathers and all that. I mean, just looking at a normal inventory, you know, we were making really good money, so just keep that in mind. If you're not lucky enough to hit the rare drop table, the normal drop table is amazing. I mean, just picture Zulra and multiply it by like 3 or 4, picture Vorkath, multiply it by 2, it's just really good, and as you can see, the luck was still there for me. I mean, I got another Hydra Eye, which was the first piece of the second Brimstone Ring, also managed to get 600 Dragon Throwing Axes, which is just insane, even managed to pick up a Shield Left Half at around 845 KC, pretty much the same kill that I got 19 million Slayer XP on. So yeah, I am coming up on one of my biggest goals on my main, which is 20 mil Slayer. I do want 20 mil in all skills, so Slayer is one of those long-term ones. That and probably mining will be the most annoying, but yeah, I should be able to hit 20 mil Slayer probably in the next month, depending on whatever videos I do. And you'll notice at the top right that I was also nearing 100 million range XP as well as 100 million HP XP, which is awesome, because that's just, I don't know, that's a lot. So really didn't ever expect to have that much XP in a certain skill, but I guess it really does all add up over time. And speaking of time, you know, this was the time to get the last Hydra task of the video. Really motivated at this point, only needed one more task, and I knew that it would be enough no matter what the number was to complete the 1000 kills. Did end up doing a little bit of boosting, even managed to get a Cerberus task, followed by a Venenatus task, and then after those, I did receive the Hydra task just after one quick little skip there. And with that very last Hydra task being assigned, I knew that we were just hours away from doing the price check. After 12 whole days of killing this boss and boosting for points, I was finally able to see all the rewards from 1000 Alchemical Hydra kills, so I was very excited. Didn't really see any more rares up until this point. I mean, I did receive like 2 magic seeds and I did a few quick kills, but nothing too crazy. As a matter of fact, one of the very last kills of the video, I did get the Brimstone key, which I did talk about earlier. That is the new Konar key. That's kind of the new thing that unlocks the Konar drops. So yeah, just something to keep in mind. That's kind of why I said in game there that I wasn't too sure what this was, because I guess the update kind of happened on the same day that I finished this video. So yeah, fun fact for you, and maybe we will be looking into those Brimstone keys in the future for another video, so keep that in mind. Okay, and here we are at long last. 1,000 Alchemical Hydra kills have been completed. Man, oh man, look at that range XP. I was 10k away from 100 mil. That would have been so awesome to get on video, but I could not do any extra, couldn't do any less. Had to do exactly 1,000. So yeah, it was time to price check. Went ahead and went to the house and picked up the baby Hydra, and onwards to the bank we both went. So yeah, just looking at the overall drops from 1,000 kills, you guys can see there we did pick up every single bone, resulting in 2,000 bones, 2 bones per kill, over 62 dragon long swords, 43 dragon battle axes, and 74 dragon med helms. Tons of herbs, almost 1,000, and quite a few there, as well as 7.7 mil in cash. The very first price check coming out to be 72.6 mil, which we will go ahead and round up to 73. This one didn't include the bones, I just kind of forgot them, but they're in the next price check, don't worry. So yeah, 73 mil just in normal drops, and that's just the first inventory of just the normal drops. So yeah, really astounding amount of money. You don't really see that too often in this series, guys, and I don't think you're going to be seeing it too often in the future, considering this is one of the highest Slayer level required monsters in the game. Okay, so here's the second price check. This is the 2,000 bones, all of the seeds, a little bit of alchables, and the dragon bones, as well as the onyx bolts. Everything coming out to be 34.8 mil, which we will go ahead and round that up to 35 mil. So now we have 73 million plus 35 million, currently at 108 mil overall. Now this next price check is a little bit messy because I really didn't have too many items left over, and the rares were just going to be based off the grand exchange price, not the actual price checker. So yeah, we had to go to the GE and sell all these rares to see exactly what everything was worth, and then we were going to add this to the overall price check. Now first we have the Hydra leather, which both of them did sell for 7 mil a piece, and then we have the Brimstone ring, which did end up selling for about 9 mil, so really accurate there. All the dragon knives and all of the dragon throwing axes did sell for their retail price as well, and there we sat with 25 mil in the inventory, still yet to sell the 2 Hydra claws that we received earlier on in the video. The first one did sell for 83 million, and the second one did sell for 83 as well. Just looking at that overall cash stack, you know, 191 mil simply in the rare drops, and 109 mil in the normal drops, as well as getting the pet. I mean, it was truly a successful video. The luck was on point in every single way, and as you guys can see at this point, which is sped up by about 800 times, we were selling every single item that I did receive, and the overall amount of money from 1,000 Alchemical Hydra with everything sold comes out to be 300 mil. Now we did start with about 23 mil in food and potions, and we did end with about 10.5 mil, so we spent about 13 to 15 mil in food and pots, and we also spent 34,000 adamant darts and 60 to 65,000 Zora scales for the blowpipe during the course of 1,000 kills. Most of the boosting that I did while doing Slayer was done with a whip, so don't really focus too much on using extra scales and darts for that, because I was mainly focusing on using a whip for the boosting, and overall the cost of supplies ended up being just about 35 mil, so the profit from all of these Hydra kills ended up being 265 to 270 mil. It took about 12 days to complete, and on top of doing 1,000 Hydra kills, I also managed to get 97 to 99 woodcutting on my Pure, also managed to make about 45,000 cannonballs on my Iron Man, and splash 95 to 98 magic on my secondary main. So yeah, multitasking for the win. No matter what you're doing in game, you can always get more done. And on that note, I guess that will be the end of the video. So thank you guys very much for watching. In my next video, I do plan on doing a bank video on both of my accounts, as well as a Q&A. So if you have any question regarding this video series, me as a person or a video maker, feel free to leave it in the comment section below. I will be answering anything and everything, so don't hold back. And with that all being said, thank you guys very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. And until then, Mr. No Sleep out.